lesson of this Wednesday, and that is, of course, math, where we get to be our awesome mathematicians, showing what we know and explaining our thinking. So we are going to continue building that awesome mathematician vocabulary that we have been working on since last week and this week. So let's go ahead and take a look at our learning target for Wednesday. It says, I can relate the meaning of more than and less than to adding and subtracting. So today we're taking our vocabulary knowledge of more than and less than and relating it to. Relating, talking about the relationship between this language, what it means, and adding and subtracting. Some of you might have already started to make this connection that when we're finding numbers that are more than or less than, we are actually adding and subtracting value. Our values of 1, 10, or 100, which all stems from our place value knowledge. So we're going to be building into our vocabulary skills, adding and subtracting today, and how they all relate to one another. So to remind ourselves of our brand new vocabulary this week, we first want to review real quickly more than. What does it mean when we are asking to find a number that's 1, 10, or 100 more than another? That means we have to count up. We have to count up by 1, 10, or 100. And therefore, when we count up, we are making a bigger value. We get a bigger number when we're finding more than and counting up. Just like you can see in our same little plant picture, we have our plant is getting bigger each time. Each plant is more than the next. It's bigger every time. So more than, we've got to count up, make that bigger value. But our opposite, of course, is less than. When we're trying to find a number that's 1, 10, or 100 less than another number, our job then becomes to count down by 1, 10, or 100. And when we count down, we end up with a smaller value. We get a smaller number. Just like our pencils over here, they're getting smaller each time, and each pencil is less than the previous one. They're getting smaller and less than the last one. So we'll be working with less than to count down and get a smaller value by 1, 10, or 100. So both more than or less than are just one way for us to talk about numbers that relate to these super important skills of adding and subtracting. Adding and subtracting go right along with more than or less than. So with more than, when we're counting up and making that bigger value, we are adding value. We're adding 1, 10, or 100 to a number. So when we're talking about what's more than, our job is to add to our number. Add value to the number we already had. But then with subtraction, that relates to our vocabulary of less than. When we're trying to find a number that's less than, we have to count down and get a smaller value. And therefore what we have to do is subtract. When we're taking away value, making a smaller value, we're subtracting, counting down. So less than relates to the concept of subtracting, taking away value. So both more than and less than relate directly to addition and subtraction. And today we're going to be expressing our knowledge both with more than or less than language and with our knowledge of addition and subtraction and how they both relate together. So to go ahead and use all along with our place value skills, I need everybody right now to get out their place value chart. Hopefully it's nice and flat in front of you, but get out your place value chart and let's get solving. Okay, you got your nice chart out and all your tools next to you. So let's use our place value skills and complete this number sentence. Our task is to find one more than 274. One more than 274. Okay, so first things first, we need to show 274 on our place value chart. Can we show 274 on our chart? Let's see, how many ones are we going to need? How many ones? 4 ones. Let's show 4 ones. How many tens? 7 tens. Can you show 7 tens with me? 7 tens. Got 5 and 2. Awesome. How many hundreds? How many hundreds? 200s. So whatever you've got, you can draw them, or if you have blocks, we have 200s. So altogether, we've got 274. So second grade, when we're looking at these number sentences, I'm going to always ask you 2 questions for you to figure out how to show what you know. This sentence gives us all the information we need. First up, what place value is going to change? One more than. What place value will change? The hundreds, tens, or ones? What place value is going to change? The ones place, of course, the ones place, because this sentence is telling us one more. That's our clue that the ones place is going to change. Okay, second question. If the ones place is going to change, are we going to count up by 1 or count down by 1? If it's 1 more than, we're going to count up 1 or down 1. We're going to count up 1 because we have more than, and more than means we're counting up. So let's go ahead and do that, second grade. Can you take 1 for our 1 and put 1 more on your place value chart? 1 more. And our number is now what? What number do we have? 275. We have 275. Our ones place changed. Can you see that in our numbers? Our 1 place went up from 4 ones to 5 ones. And we did that on our chart all together when we counted 1 more. So second grade, this knowledge that we show in our number sentence can also be shown with addition. Because we were counting more than, we can also show this by saying 274 plus 1 equals 275. We counted 1 more than, which is the same as plus 1. Because addition implies more than, that bigger value. And we know these numbers only changed by 1, the ones place. So this is how our knowledge can relate to each other. This can be expressed in both ways, with more than and our addition symbol. So this is what we're going to work on today, and let's keep going. Okay, now second grade, we're going to keep our same number on our chart, but we're changing our number sentence. We're changing our task. Now, our job is to find 10 less than 275. 10 less. So, taking a look, I'm going to ask you the same 2 questions that you can find right from your sentence. So second grade, what place value is going to change? What place value is going to change? 10 less than. The tens place is going to change. Since we know 10 less, the tens place is going to change. But how is the tens place going to change? Are we going to count up a 10 or count down a 10? 10 less than. Count up or down a 10? We're going to count down a 10 because of less than. Less than is our clue that we're going to count down. So let's go ahead and do that. On your place value chart, can you count down a 10? Can you count down a 10? So second grade, what number do we have now? This is 265. We have 265. When we counted 10 less, did you see? Take a look. The tens place got smaller. We counted down and went from 7 tenths to 6 tenths for 10 less than. But of course we know this knowledge can be shown with subtraction because we're taking away value. We're subtracting. So 10 less than, we could also say 275 minus 10 equals 265. This 10 less than is the same as subtract 10, minus 10. Because both this language and this symbol is referring to getting a smaller value, taking away value. So these two are related directly to each other. They express the same knowledge. Okay, awesome people. Let's see what else we got. Before we keep going, let's give ourselves an awesome break for all our great work. So just nicely stand up out of your seat. Don't mess up your board. And I've got a silly question for you. So, Super Scholars, which one of these would you rather have? Would you rather have really big cheeks and have chipmunk cheeks? If so, you're going to do 5 jumping jacks. Or would you rather have big teeth, like horse teeth? If so, you're going to do 5 side-to-side jumps. So which of these would you rather have? Chipmunk cheeks or horse teeth? What do you think? I'm going to go with chipmunk cheeks, so I'm going to do 5 jumping jacks. You got your pick? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome, short and sweet. Sit right back down in your seat and let's keep going. And here is our next sentence. Let's figure this out together. We've got 100 less than 265 is blank. Okay, 100 less than. First question, what place value is going to change? 100 less than. What place value will change? Hundreds, tens, or ones? The hundreds place is going to change because in the number sentence, we have 100 less than. It's telling us our hundreds place is going to change. Question number 2. If our hundreds place is changing, are we going to count up 100 or count down 100? What do you see? Are we counting up or counting down? Less than. We're going to count down 100 because we want less value, less than counting down. So let's do that. Can you count down by 100. Count down by 100. What do we got? This number is 165. So again, second grade, what place value changed? The hundreds place. The hundreds place went down from 200 to 100 because we know our clue was 100 less. Okay, can you tell me what would be another way we could express this knowledge? 100 less than 265 is 165. We could also say what? 265, we want to add or subtract? Subtract, how much? How much did we take away? 100, and we found that equaled 165. Good job. So 100 less than 265 is 165. Can also be said as 265 minus 100 equals 165. Since less than and subtraction are related, they say the same concept. Good job. Awesome work with me, second grade. Let's try one last one all together. Okay, for our last problem, we need to find 10 more than 165 is blank. 10 more than. Okay, here come our two questions. Number one, what place value is going to change? What place value? The tens place is going to change. Our tens place is going to change, of course, because we have 10 more than. But how will it change? Will we count up a 10, or are we going to count down a 10? What do you think? What is it telling you? Up or down? We're going to count up a 10 because it says more. We want a bigger value. We're going to count up a 10. So let's go ahead and do that. Can you count up a 10? Count up a 10. And what number do we have? 175. We have 175 because we counted up a 10. And take a look, awesome people. What place value changed? What place value changed? The tens place, of course, the tens place. We went from how many tens? 6 tens to 7 tens. Good job. But what's our other way to express this knowledge? 10 more than 165 is 175. But we could also say what? 165, we're going to add or subtract? More than, add, plus, how much? 10 equals 175. Because our more than and plus are the same concept. And in both cases, we can see that we added 1 10. We changed the tens place by getting more. Awesome job, second grade. This is the knowledge that we want to take with us that's going to help build those addition and subtraction skills as well as our awesome vocabulary. So you're going to take all this with you and complete a few number sentences on your own. So let me pull up the dojo sheet that I need you to complete today. Okay, Super Scholars, here is your opportunity to show me what you know. So today, of course, we're working with more than or less than. And you have 3 number sentences here to complete, both with our vocabulary and with addition or subtraction. So for example, for question number 1, you need to find 100 more than 739. What's 100 more? Remember, we're asking ourselves, what place value is going to change? And are we going to go up or down? So using those knowledge, you're going to find that number. And then you're also going to write this sentence with addition or subtraction. So 100 plus or minus 739 equals blank. So these numbers are going to be the same. Your solutions will be the same number. You're just going to connect more than or less than to addition or subtraction. And look, you've got a little clue box right here on the side that can help you out if you get stuck. So you're also going to find 100 less than 372 and 1 more than 405. For all 3, you're going to complete the number sentence with our vocabulary as well as fill in the correct symbol if this sentence talks about addition or subtraction. So use all your knowledge and skills that we practiced in our video. So I want you to very nicely fill out each of these sentences and then submit it back to me so I can see what you got. Okay, lovely 2nd grade, thank you so much for working so hard every single day. Give yourself a round of applause and let's get to work.